Hello everyone and welcome to Kairo. Kairo is an indie puzzle platformer, abstract, wow there's a throne there, abstract little piece of wow the look sensitivity is huge on this right now. Let's turn that down, Jesus Christ. A lovely little indie platformer game. Puzzle elements, abstract art elements, blocky elements, surreal elements. Really, it's a game that's hard to describe. It's a very visually striking game. It's not. I can't really explain it in terms of plot or anything gameplay related aside from puzzle design. But let's give it a go. I'll just run through it and. We'll just start off and see how it goes. So we have nothing in front of us. What we do, we will jump off. Bet you expected me to fall. Well, there is our little throne room, and over here, our next piece of the puzzle. Now, the very odd movement style in this, it's hard to get around the fact that you have no footstep noises. It's the sort of, look at that terrifying thing there. You have no footstep noises in this game. And so, you don't really get the feel of being entirely human in this game. I know I jump, but I don't really feel like I'm human. It's hard to describe. There's a giant wall of text up there. You can't read it, but it certainly seems of some significance. Perhaps it is a tomb. Perhaps that is an epitaph. Perhaps it is a commandment. You'll notice that absolutely lovely, surreal sound design permeating the game. So, alright, let's go through this little horrific little portal here into the next area. So Kairo, oh, there's a broken pillar. Kairo really gives this sort of immense. There are very few games, I'll say, other than Kairo, that give this amazing sense of loneliness. It's just the atmosphere of sort of everyone has left and you're the only one left absolutely permeates the game. Here we are. So we have another throne, and behind it the symbol. Not entirely sure what the symbol is meant to mean. So we'll stand on this podium here. Or not. There's a little desk here. Ah, there we go. It's been so long since I've actually played Kairo, though I'm really trying to remember what I have to do here. But it's good. We'll all work it out ourselves. So you can see this is a sort of bare bones, very Spartan throne room, even if it is a throne room at all. So what we do here. There we go. So standing on here, we'll open up the next chamber. There really aren't too many controls for this. It's really just a 3D puzzle platformer, which a lot of people don't like. 3D puzzle platformers, they sort of they get a bad rep. But for Kairo, it really makes the experience. If it was 2D, I think it would lose the surreal vibe. So we're back to what is bloody areas like this. It sort of verges on horror. Like there's absolutely terrifying elements in this game, and yet it is so abstract that I know I played this game before. I know there are no monsters that will come up against me, and yet you can sort of feel so vulnerable out here. I think it's just the black emptiness that's everywhere. Other areas they feel calming, other areas they will feel lonely, but it's an immersive experience, and the sound design I think is fantastic enough to warrant the completely irrational fear that I feel going through some of these areas. So you'll notice that everything is color-coded beautifully. It's the sort of game that you want to sort of pick the mind of the creator from. And I haven't actually read any interpretations of this game. I may go back and do a relook and see what we can find. I just thought I'd do a video just to see what I might think about it. So, oh look, it's The Sims. So we have benches. We have a livable area. A lot of the areas in here, they sort of give the areas like this, they give the impression of rooms and the impressions of furniture without sort of making it an absolute detail. Like that throne room earlier, we don't get an impression. We get an impression of a throne room, but it's a very bare bones throne room. It's about as minimalist as you could possibly get with it. Here we are. And once again, you get the impression of like a sort of, I don't know. I really don't know. It's like a modern art piece. And I think if anything wants to give the impression of games as art, or of modern art as art. If you're not a big fan of modern art and you're not a big fan of the idea that games might be art, I think Kairo is the sort of game that will convince you otherwise. So, I mean, look at this. It's like a giant spring. It's industrial. It's mystical. It gives a sort of feeling of timelessness that you really don't get in games. Like I think the visuals in this especially will hold up for a long while. Let's try and go through some of these doors. Right, so this is trippy. So you'll notice this is like this shattered glass effect over here, which I really love. I love the little, just the little imperfections in the design of this game. Things have been left for so long that things are sort of breaking and falling apart on their own. But it's such a slow and creeping feeling that you don't know whether this has been here for 100 years or 1,000,000. I don't know what I'm doing here. I mean, that's the other thing about Kairo. The puzzles are tough. A lot of them are really abstract and tough, and it's really hard to get an idea for what you're actually doing. Let's try one of the others. Ooh, this is a lovely garish yellow. So what is this panel over here? Right, so I shouldn't be standing on this. It feels like that's a coffin. It feels like it feels like I'm surrounded by coffins, which is not the best thought to have. Some sort of mausoleum. And you get, it's sort of rotten with its yellow aesthetic. Yeah, coffins everywhere. Coffins or otherwise storage boxes. I like to think they're coffins. I don't like to think they're coffins, but I imagine they're coffins. And now here we are in the waterfall room. Look at this. Look at this. Look at like the sensation of water without it actually being water. I could just gush about this game. I am gushing about this game. I really am. Which I imagine might be a bit... I imagine it might be a bit annoying. So... certainly let me know if it is annoying. I could always shut up for a bit and let people form their own interpretations of the game. So let's try jumping. Sound good. So I think I know what we have to do in this. You have to actually follow the arrow placement. Make sure you go the right way. Right, so we'll try going. We'll try going this way. You see the arrows, you have to sort of walk onto them from that direction. Yeah. So you can have directions that you can walk onto them from. Let's try this. Right. And then we walk on this direction. No. Okay, so let's face this way. So abstract. Music is going mad right now. Alright, well, I've had enough of that. We'll explore, I think. Because even without doing the puzzles, you can explore a lot of the areas. And I'm not doing this to complete the game, I'm just doing it to give you an idea of what the game is. Let's go through here. And now we have what I like to think is some sort of clockwork. It's sort of like a clockwork mechanism if the Egyptians had designed it. If the ancient Egyptians had designed it. So once again we have these little buttons here. Not entirely sure what's moving. I mean, this certainly seems to be a light-based puzzle. Ah, there we go. So we'll move the light over here. Brilliant. So we'll try and move all the light onto this little pyramid here. Lovely, lovely. Finally. Right, so... Oh, this is what's making it move. So I'm not sure. Everything's moving around once again. Maybe something will happen soon. Come on, please. I hope I understand this puzzle right. Maybe not so much. Maybe we can step on that thing to stop it. God, I don't know. Kairo, everybody. Or even when they do make sense, the puzzles are fucking mad. But that's sort of its charm. Oh, is this this is the way I came? I'm not sure if there's another way out of there, actually. I think I may have to solve the puzzle before I go ahead. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, here we go. So, here we are in the Colosseum. Trying to see our way into there, but I suppose we can't. It's the sort of game that gives you... Maybe... I wouldn't say it's a weird mix between sort of peace and uneasiness. You can play it and you can wander it and you can wander around Kairo and feel like it's so beautiful and odd. Look, it's just... Look at it, it's just fucking with me. Then we have more rings. So I'm going to get away from there, but if you can listen closely, walking up to there, up to that obelisk, you can hear someone speaking. It certainly seems like a religious artifact, or certainly something with some sort of mystical or radioactive properties to it. You can hear someone talking in... I don't know whether that is Egyptian, or I don't know whether that's a made-up language. I'm not an Egyptian speaker. So, it's odd. It's something that I need to research further into. But something in Kairo... I don't know whether... Oh, God. It's not a Colosseum at all. It's a volcano. Differing perspectives on things. It feels like a city. I've got to say, it feels like Cairo, I suppose. A very Egyptian style city. but it's all separated into these weird little areas. Hey, look where we are. Oh, I'm back out the other door. Oh, Kairo, you continue to astound me. You do these wonderful, magical things. Let's have a look in the red room. Here we are once again with that little sense of terror, of unease. I don't know why. I don't know why, but it's the sense that something's not right and therefore it is terrifying. It's the sort of sense that I know people... It's an odd comparison, but people who played Gone Home, a lot of people said that feels like a horror game. And I can certainly see why. It's just the sense of something being wrong that'll tick you off. Nothing has to be scary. It just has to be... It's just... Jesus Christ. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? It's fucking... It just puts you on edge. Like, this is sort of like an apocalyptic scene. Once again, people are talking. Now, my interpretation of this is that some kind of apocalypse happened to the world, and this civilization, whether it's actual Egyptians or some sort of advanced civilization or even alien civilization, this is their message about the ruin of the world to you. It's kind of telling what happened to the world. At least that's what I imagine. There could be archaeological sites or whatever. We see something else, right? So, in this little area of terror, it gives you the idea of like machinery. Okay, so there's another. We'll explore this next final room and then we'll call it a day. But I mean, there's a lot to explore and a lot of puzzles to go through. Finally, here we are. And there's something off in the distance. Every time. How do we get to this flashing symbol? I don't know, but we'll certainly try. You can actually sprint. Oh god. So here's another puzzle for you. Trying to make your way into the central puzzle room. Sort of skirting the edges to get towards the... You can't beat the puzzle. You can't beat the speed of the puzzle. So we're trying to get to this... Oh, I suppose you can beat the speed of the puzzle. Wow, that's incredible. Now we have this sort of HUD element that's just going on. I think we've just picked up the first piece of something, some kind of key into solving Cairo's mystery. Oh, the sense of curiosity you get. I'll do one more. You can hear the light rushing of waves or wind. Alright, it's totally black and white in there, so let's have a look in here. Alright, okay. Okay. I can't do anymore. I can't. Like, it's draining me to do this so fast. So, we'll call it a day. We'll call it a day in this wonderful, magical game. This wonderful, emotional journey of a game. So this has been Kairo. I would certainly look into it yourselves, because through what I've been showing so far, I've just been running through it. I've barely had any time to actually look into the actual areas themselves or solve any real puzzles. I've just been running my way through it. So, okay, that's been Kairo. Thank you very much. I've been Callum Lewis. And till next time, goodbye.